Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue examine that we learned yesterday. I hope you still remember the shape and form of it. This rooftop with a chimney on the top. Mian is how it's supposed to pronounce. I never pronounced it before because it's not a self-standing character. It's a radical. It's a component. It creates stories. It basically creates the roof, the backdrop, where things are happening. And what's happening here today? We have 3 horizontal lines punctured or linked through one vertical line, and then we have a mouse symbol up there. Is there a mouse symbol? Because yesterday we saw something that looks like a mouse symbol, but not mouse symbol. Okay, this hi is actually harm, and how Chinese define harm. If you look at traditional simplify, they are exact twins, identical twins. But if you look at 2,000 years ago, Xushen dictionary, these 3 horizontal lines are actually diagonal. Okay, that's interesting, right? Because when it's diagonal, visually, it creates this unstableness. It's not serene, horizontal, horizon, peace, calm thing. It's slanted. It's off balance. It's like almost like you're seesawing, right? It's not coming to a balance. It's off balanced. Visually give you that cue. And indeed, this 3 diagonal line connected by this vertical line means this harmful, damaging, negative, toxic, in our contemporary words, that kind of environment or attitude under that roof. So it's domestic toxicity. Relates to the mouse. Today, this box has handles on them. And so it is human mouse. And we're talking about something toxic coming out of the mouse. This is visually, it just means that. And then with this, within the private space, you get that. And that's the definition of harm. And I would say, wow, ancient Chinese, they already kind of have this psychology of interpersonal or within household. I guess the biggest human dramas played is playing under your roof, behind your locked doors. It's within your private domain. And yes, we can get toxicity at work, but the damage, the level of damage, the biggest harm probably do come from domestic space. So if chosen wrong partner, if parents are not treating child with care, the caregiver can give so much more harm to the child who probably, as the saying goes, spend the whole life trying to heal from childhood trauma. Could have PTSD for the rest of life. That's some real deep cut, like cut by 1,000 paper cuts kind of damage. So Chinese back then already defined this harm by the toxicity from the mouth under that roof. I find that's a pretty deep. Okay, 害人害己 here, we're talking about harm. 人 means others, even if 人 means generic human. So here, because we have 己, meaning yourself, self-referral. So you're harming others and harming yourself. So it's a lose-lose situation. 害人害己 is a kind of a warning to point out a behavior you may not be aware that is really not beneficial to anybody here. If you're gonna put others under bus, probably not looking good yourself as well, something like that situation. Okay, 害人之心. It's something I grew up hearing a ton from my parents, from my aunties, all that. 害人之心 means the heart. Here means the intention, because we may or may not show our heart, right? as English, wear the heart on the sleeve, right? That's simply optional. It's not always true that they're going to tell people your real intention. So here, 害人之心 means hidden intention. You're not verbalizing. 害人之心不可有. You cannot have the heart or the intention to harm others. The second line is 防人之心不可无. At the same time, you cannot not have, like without the heart or intention or the sensitivity to detect other people's ill intention. Okay, again, 害人之心不可有，防人之心不可无. So this is the golden advice, I guess, that basically defines how you want to behave in like outside the home. For young people venturing out to society, you may get scammed, right, easily. So you need to have that caution. But at the same time, you don't want to do harm to others at the same time. Okay. 利害关系. 利 means benefit. 害 means harm. 关系 is this relational, I guess, this interpersonal dynamics. That's 关系. So 利害关系 means this dynamic, interpersonal dynamic, actually have benefits and potential risks or harms involved. So 利害关系, almost kind of English equivalent of, is it called a SWOT or SWOT? Strength, weakness, advantage, and threat analysis. So 利害关系 is almost like you have to look at the pros and cons. You need to see the benefits, but at the same time, potential harms in this dynamic. So here is a black and white picture of supposedly a teen and supposedly somebody who went through some harm in that domestic space with this toxicity, neglect, or abuse from the mouth. So that's Chinese definition of 害, harm. Thank you for your time. See you another day.